incorporate them in your books here on the ERP. So you see, today we are going to talk about particularly for a new asset. But let me recap just to make you understand that what was the existing asset. So you see, existing assets are required to be directly start from the asset list itself, where you define the item and then the particular item name, asset name, with the particular category and the location and the staff member who is working with it, and then this has to be done for existing asset and the time when it reported for how much money, quantity, and obviously the commissioning date, which is it is a table. It comes to your office. It is just placed on the same meeting room and available to be used as like a commissioning date. So for the last year it was let's say accumulated 500 dirhams for the whole year. So you have defined in here. If you want to enable the depreciation automatic system, you should check it here. This table will come automatically, will be populated right away from here. This thing will be automatically filled in, which you can take up and define the age as you want by yourself. 5 years, but you have to type here in the months. Then age in months. It is in fact this field requires you age in months and the periodicity, like for if you type 1, so it will record the depreciation for each month. If I put up here as a 12, so one entry for the whole year. So you see, as soon as you define this period and save it, it will fall as a draft. And as soon as it will fall as a draft, the schedule is going to be created and will be linked up in here, which you can click right away here and to go into this record to check that if the depreciation schedule is correct. Likewise here, this will come after the submission, but this is the same schedule which I was showing as a separate document on the top. So you see, it shows which day which particular amount is going to be booked as depreciation expense. This is obviously the accumulation column, and by passing each month, the particular expense is going to be added up as an accumulated depreciation. So as soon as I submit, system will take up, and by each passing day, an automatic background job will create the JVs automatically, and these JVs are having the depreciation, the type as depreciation entry. So it is in fact a general voucher. In your general voucher list, this will be recorded automatically. System is going to record automatically based on the purely the accounting of this JV for each asset is based or is being configured here in the category. For example, if I click here, I'm here in the asset category furniture and fixture, where you define the depreciation mechanism and where you define that which is going to be the particularly expense account, accumulated depreciation account, and particular asset account for this category. And that's where system takes up these two to record the JVs automatically on as per the schedule which you define in each asset particularly. So this is the simple JV, and it's nothing to do with just expense debit, and contra asset account is credit. Simple. The same GL account is hit, but mainly it is going to be fall as a draft because of workflow is applied. So workflow will run as soon as approved by finance. This JV will be finalized, and will be hitting the ledgers as well as update the each respective asset alongside the fixed asset report as well. So this was all about the what do you call if I go back to the assets, this is all about the existing assets. We are going to talk about today the the new assets. So do you have any question, Yusuf, and maybe Joel? You can type it here or you can talk to me so I can move forward. Joel, do you have any question? Hello. Okay, no problem. Yusuf, moving forward, so let's talk about the let's say you are so
Hmm?
you're so you're supposed to be let's say you're supposed to be purchasing an asset, yani Toyota pickup, as a new item. You receive a request, and based on request, purchase order, and supplier quotation, and RFQ element will run by purchasing department, but ultimately it comes to you at the time of payment, or maybe at the time of invoicing. So how come you are going to handle it, yani? So before I go there, I want to tell for Toyota pickup. So I'm going to bring from the uh, Google itself. Yani. You can come in here, and you can bring any picture you want. You want it for, let's say, kind of a Toyota pickup like this. Yani. So you just click on it, and just copy the image address. You don't need to download it. Yani. Just copy the image address and come back in here in this particular asset, and just attach the link. Paste the link here, upload. The system will automatically make up a link, and this asset is going to be attached with a picture here, you see. And you see, not only this is a list, it has an image view as well. The same list can be converted into images, like this, you see. It looks good, yani. So now how come a new request is going to be created for an asset for today pickup, and how come this thing is going to be run on purchasing cycle, and it will ultimately end up in asset module as an asset, yani. So you see, uh, let's go to first item, and I'll show you any you know and this is any not done by you, but particularly anybody requesting an item should create should understand that what is going to be the nature of the item, because in the system, in the ERPs are itemized, and the particular item nature defines the accounting handling of the items which you are composing or using anywhere in the company on any cycles like purchasing or selling or any other document. For example, you create items, you run on purchase order, you run on purchase invoice. The item nature itself defines that how the accounting is going to be booked. So simply you should know that what are the item types. Simply, yani, there are three types. One is stock item, the other one is service item, the other one is the final one is fixed asset. So you see, if let's make it more simple, let's say this UPVC socket. You see, if you check this thing, it is going to be a stock item, which against which you are going to stock keep, and it will go all the time. As soon as you purchase it, it will go into a warehouse first, and then it will come out and to be used, or to be issued, or to be consumed. But first, it has to be, as soon as you purchase it or you receive it, it has to be landing in the warehouse first. So accounting will be different for this item than the service item. How you make a service item? Any item, any item. Let's say this is a stock item, but if I'm going to make up, or maybe you can choose the item group as a service, and all those service item will line up. So you see, let's say, this tile fixing is a job. Tile fixing is a job. It is a kind of a service, and we sell this item. It is in fact an item, but it is a service item, because we don't want to keep. Obviously, this thing is kind of a service. Any tile fixing is a job. It is a kind of a service. We measure them in a square meter. We cannot stock keep this item, and this thing is unchecked, and this is a service item. So this is how you can create a service item. And this item group, in fact, item group, filter against which you can just what do you call, find effective item which are in fact service in nature. So I can remove the filters from here, and if I go back to the, you can turn this thing into a list, and you see, yani, uh, this particular Toyota pickup item is, I'm here in the item. You remember I attached the picture on assets. No, asset master is also a separate record in the system. Item master is a separate record. I need item to run the purchasing cycle, but I don't and the same item is going to be used to connect with the asset master record for the same data pickup as an asset. I'll show you any. But you see, first you need to have an asset, the item, particularly as an asset item. So you see, this is how and you see you don't see maintenance stock check in here. And as soon as you check it, you see this particular asset category field, and the same asset category has to be tagged with this item. And this thing will take up later on in the asset portal for the depreciation mechanism. And even while you're running this data pickup on purchasing, the particular category where you have defined that as soon as you receive the new assets, which particular asset account should be debited, because obviously you data pickup is going to be debiting and increasing the volume of your fixed asset account. So this is the account which you have chosen here, and system is going to book at the time of purchase invoice. I'll show you. So you see, for this particular item, if I go to the dashboard, I can see there is a purchase order and there is a purchase invoice, which I already created for you to make you more easy to understand that how this thing is recorded. Let's say someone has requested, and based on the request, yani, I did not create a request. Yani, if I go back and show you, I am here in the item dashboard. This is a request document which you can create, and the same asset item can be booked in here by a requester. Requester can be anybody. This form is available to anybody within the company. An employee can request any. But it is also going under a workflow, and one should see it from purchasing department because it is ultimately approved by purchasing in the end, that if the items are item nature or item master is correct, because this same thing traveling towards purchasing. Meanwhile, the purchasing department will run the RFQ element and all those comparison, and finally pick up a supplier to award a purchase order to pick, buy that particular pickup truck. Obviously, it is kind of distributor from which, or you can buy used from anywhere. But it is depending upon the supplier quotation received, and the purchasing department is the one working with the purchase order. Yeah, you are not the one, but the item will remain same traveling from one department to another because it is a unified data. Customer, suppliers, chart of accounts, and items that will remain same across the board. So you see, this is the same item. Let's say it was for 75,000 dirhams. Tax is also applied, and purchaser has awarded 12 for time automobiles to purchase this record. This data pickup. So your purchase order is not bringing up anything. Any purchase order is not is not bringing any. In fact, what do you call impact to the general ledger or to the books. Yani. So if I've already sent you one document.